What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'm going to leave off from where I was in the last video, which is classes. So as you can see, I still have the code from the last video where I explained the template of a class. So it has a class name, an initialization method, which is basically a function for a specific class. And then we created our own custom method called hello, where we printed out the name, age, and ethnicity that was given in the initializer. So here we initialize the human by giving these statistics, and then we printed out the name, age, and ethnicity by creating properties, and we were able to do that with the .hello method. So instead of having to write all this code, I can just create Joseph, right? Passing these arguments, get them created as properties, and I can just call the hello method, right? Instead of having to print out, right? I could do it like this, right? Print Joseph dot name because I can access this, right? The self is referring to the object itself, so I could do something like this. Joseph dot name. And see, we'll just get Joseph, but instead we can just call the hello method. Okay, so that explains classes, right? But how about, so you might be wondering, well, why does this have to have underscores and this have? Well, that's because this is the initializer, and it's called a dunder method. So basically, um, double underscore methods with two underscores before and after the name are dunder and magic method, or built-in method. So this is built in, this is a method that I created called hello, but this is underscore underscore init underscore underscore, which is the initializer method, right? What other variants of this can I use, right, that are built in? Well, say we wanted to add two humans together, right? So say I wanted to create, okay, instead of adding two humans, that's kind of weird. Say if I wanted to create a relationship between two humans, right? So I said created Sarah, okay? And this is his girlfriend, so Joseph and Sarah. Okay, and let's give her a name, Sarah. Maybe she's 35, okay, 34, and maybe her ethnicity is um Asian. Okay, so we have a European and an Asian person dating each other. I don't know how many Asians are named Sarah, but I don't really care. So we have Joseph and Sarah, right? So let's just say we wanted to create our own method. Well, that's actually different. We're talking about built method. So what if I wanted to, let's just say I wanted to add the behavior. Say I wanted to add them, right? And I didn't define the, in order to do that, I would have to create something like this, where I have self and then the other thing that I want to add. I'm just gonna say pass for now, okay? And say I did not have this, I'm gonna comment it, right? And what I tried to do is instead of printing out hello, I wanted to print Joseph plus Sarah, okay? Now what I want to do here, right? Let's just print out two numbers, right? 7 plus 8. This should just do an arithmetic operation, right? We get 15. But there is no addition, right? This is not defined here, right? So we're going to get an error if we try adding Joseph and Sarah, right? Because that's something that's built in, right? This add thing is built in, but we can change that functionality over here. So as of now, there's nothing built in for Joseph and Sarah to be added together, right? We just have, it'll say unsupported operand type for human and human, right? It's saying that we can't add a human with a human, but we actually can if we define it here. So if we write underscore underscore add underscore underscore, we need these underscores. What we're doing is we're going to define how does this, right? We're defining how does this plus sign work with human objects? How can I add to humans? That's what we're doing. So now I can just say print self.name, right? So if I just did Joseph is friends with Sarah, right? Is friends with, right? Or I return this, right? If I return this string, now let's just say I print Sarah plus Joseph, right? Sarah plus Joseph, okay? Right? You're gonna get the same thing. Joseph is friends with Sarah. Joseph is friends with Sarah, right? But that's not the behavior I want, right? This is gonna happen all the time. That's why we want to use variables, right? So you want to say, um, you want to use something called an f string. I think I described this. It's basically you have an f in front of the string and then you use braces to put in variables. In this case, we're going to say self.name, right? So what do you think this is going to do? This is going to put the name inside the string, okay? So is friends with other dot name, okay? So now right? Whatever this object is currently self, right? Get its name, and then whatever you pass in the other, get the name as well. So in this case, when we're adding Joseph and Sarah, we should see Joseph is friends with Sarah. But for Sarah, right, that self is different now. So Sarah is friends with Joseph. So if you run this, Joseph plus Sarah, then Sarah plus Joseph, right? You see Joseph is friends with Sarah, and then you see Sarah is friends with Joseph. Okay, so that's how you use that. Let's say, for example, if you wanted to subtract two humans, let's just see how that works. So I think it's called subtract. I don't know, something like that. Maybe sub. No idea. But in order to know what the names are, you have to search it up through the documentation. So let's just search up Python dunder subtract. Okay. So now you can overload. You can change how your objects are subtracted, multiplication, etc. Okay. Now as you can see, you have it's called underscore sub. Okay. So what you can do is do that. So when we're subtracting, this is what happens, right? You can use the same thing with that string. You can say self.name, right? Joseph minus Sarah. So when you subtract two humans, we're just gonna make it in a way that they do not become friends. Is not friends with other name. Okay. So now if we print this out and we change these to minus signs, right? When we're subtracting, right, we're not going to get an error because we define what the subtraction should be for this class. Okay. And now you get Joseph is friends with Sarah, Sarah is friends with Joseph, Joseph is not friends with Sarah, Sarah is not friends with Joseph. Okay, and I can go on to do this forever. Like I can look at all of these methods, right? Division, like if I wanted to create a way for humans to divide each other, right, I could do that. All I have to do is just define what happens. In this case, when you add two humans, they become friends, and when you subtract humans, they become not friends. And that is done during magic methods, or in other words, built-in methods explained about 4 classes in Python. And I will see you guys in the next one.